Well, first and foremost, call on hanging out with Yahweh by Shem Shah by Shem That's the Apostle of Great Muslim. The Lord allowed me to read today Lamentations. Read Lamentations first chapter, 12th verse. Since the phrase was the ninth verse. Okay, I'm gonna just says Lamentations 1 to 9. Her filthiness in her skirts she remembered not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. All right, now this is talking about the land of Israel. Okay, all right. But when I say his last end in this lesson, I'm talking about Esau, his last end. Okay, all right. And I looked up what it means as far as last end. What's that? What does that mean? All right, and when I looked up earlier, it meant destiny, the final part or something. Final. Let me see. It says the final outcome or ultimate goal of something, or the final part of something. All right. Um, the outcome, the finish, the conclusion. Okay. All right. Well, the conclusion of everything for Esau Edom ultimately is destruction. Okay. The conclusion. All right. Or the final part, or the last end for America, along with Esau, is destruction. Okay. All right. So let me get this. This is Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8. It says, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Okay. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Okay, so Esau being at the end, okay, and when you look up end, let me go back to my definitions here. All right, Cambridge Dictionary is one part right here. Let me go back because that opened it up. I don't know why that is not moving. All right, the Britannica Dictionary loaded it up. All right, and it says a point that marks the limit of something, the last part of a story, and the end of this world is Esau's last part in the biblical story. Okay, all right, because from the beginning of his story in the Bible, all right, it was centered on hatred toward Jacob. All right, you can read Genesis the 27th chapter. All right, and the way he says he's gonna slay his brother. All right, it says the edge or limit of an area, the last part or section of something that is long, and it seems like things are long here on our end, but they're really short in the eyes of the Lord, and that's where time really matters. All right. It says when something is at an end, it is finished or completed. Okay. All right. And that's what is going to happen to America and to Esau. Once Esau's end is hit, all right. Once his end hits, he's finished and completed. Okay. But in his last end, all right, he needs to know, and this is what we are telling him, that the so-called white man is Esau Edom, and he's the so-called devil. All right. In his last end, he's being brought down by words. Okay. Words from the prophets and words in rebellion from his own people within his country. All right, these other Edomites, these other nations that hooked to that American dream, and it seems it's bullshit. Okay, all right. So Esau is the end of the world. All right, and we know and understand that with the end of something, all right, in regards to biblical things, when it came to war, it ended one civilization and brought up another civilization. So the civilization of Esau going down by war, which is going to happen via the holy war that's going to happen. All right. The kingdom of the Lord is going to rise up, and then that kingdom of the Lord is going to be where Dictionary, where it talks about Edom. It says, now this is part of the end for Edom, okay? All right? It says, Edom figures predominantly in the prophetic scripture as the scene of great future judgments, all right? Great future judgments, all right? Where we're about to read about a great future judgment for Esau, Edom, for America, for the people that will be joined hand in hand with this beast system, because that's gonna come through. People are going to join hand in hand with this beast system through that MOTB, which I strongly advise you to not take. Okay, ultimately it's up to the Lord. All right, but pray the Lord put the Spirit on you to not take it, nor your family. Okay. All right, but great future judgments. Okay, and one of the future judgments we're going to read right here. This is Ezekiel chapter 35. In verse 1, it says, in verse 2, it says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And that's what the men of order out on the highways and byways doing. All right. It says, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh, behold, Yahweh power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And desolate means to be destroyed, laid waste, okay, ruined, in a ruinous condition, things of that nature, okay. You could just, go by, where Jake lives in those type of areas. You can see that's desolation. All right, in those poor black communities, that's a sign or an example you can use to imagine what desolation looks like, because the buildings are destroyed, spray paint is everywhere. Grass is overgrown on the sidewalk, or on the homes and the houses. What else? You have people out on the streets, homeless, things of that nature. Okay, buildings are destroyed. If I didn't say that, all right, those are small examples. All right, of an example of a desolation. Now, in the sense of war, you can look at it in that. Let's say if a missile comes and uh, it hits a city, all right, and it cleans out the city. What I mean by that, it kills everybody in there and destroys the buildings. You can just Google that, and you'll see that's what desolation is. That's what the Lord's going to do to America. All right, He's going to lay it waste. Okay, He's going to make it a ruined city. But I'm continuing on in verse 4, because this is Esau's last end. This is what's going to happen to him. Okay, this is the final part of Esau's story. Okay, well, this is one of the final parts of Esau's story, because he got to go into the kingdom and do 1,000 years of hardcore slavery. Okay, it says here, verse 4, it says, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred against us, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. All right, Esau got that cunning hunter spirit in him. So once he starts killing, he'll keep going. All right. It says here, verse 7, it says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, all right, and cut off from him that passeth out, and him that returneth. All right, so nobody's going to be coming in and out. Nobody's going to be coming in and out of America when the Lord sets this place on fire. In Isaiah, the 34th chapter, it tells you about how the line of the sheep is going to be drawn out, where you're not going to be able to understand where New York is from California. All right, then we're going to have a lot of ravenous beasts out here. All right, according to Isaiah 37:4, according to the word of the Lord. Let me say that. Okay, because it's both the word of Yahweh Shemel Shai and in the book of Isaiah, the 34th chapter. All right, it says here, verse 8, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men in thy hills and in thy valleys and all thy rivers, and they fall that are Salaki. And in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. All right, so the Lord's going to have his own sword, and that sword is going to be thermonuclear missiles, lasers from the chariots, plagues, diseases, famines, riots and seditions among men, all right, guns, knives, raping, murdering, all types of things the Lord's going to have out here, man. All right, it's going to be crazy out here. All right, it says, I will make thee perpetual desolations. All right, perpetual. All right, it says forever. All right, I'm looking at verse 9. Perpetual is forever. So the Lord's going to make this place a perpetual desolation. Okay, a perpetual wasteland, a perpetual ruinous, in a perpetual ruinous condition. That means forever. Okay, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. All right, so this we see Esau's last end. Okay, all right, before he goes into slavery, and then he's gonna go into he's gonna be gone. He's gonna be gone. There's not gonna be no more Esau. Obadiah 1 tells you that. All right, how Judah and Ephraim, okay, basically wiped him out. All right. Verse 10 it says, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. All right. Esau has no culture, so he goes and takes whatever is not his and claims it to be his. Look at what he's doing in the land of Israel now, claiming the land of Israel to be his when it's not. Okay. It says, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will even do according to mine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And that them is you so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. All right? This 2024, and Jake's still out there being hung. Okay? It's 2024, and the police is out here shooting, literally going into people's houses. There was a woman cop that did it. I think she did it last year or earlier this year or a few years ago. She went into this man's house, hugging the woman as if she wasn't guilty. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that Esau lives for, and this is the kind of stuff that should rile you Jakes up to want to get out of America. Okay, but this is that also goes into that hatred that the so-called white man has for you. Okay, all right. Uh, Jake will get beat down by the police or shot by the police. Um, the trial won't be long. Um, the officers will be suspended with paid leave, or they call it administrative leave, all kind of stuff there. All right, but it's all to show you that the so-called white man hates you, and the Lord is going to do everything. All right, and I'm gonna read this again. It says verses Ezekiel 35 and 11. It says, "Therefore, as I live, if our power, I will eat my anger." So all the anger that Esau even had toward us, the Lord's going to do it back to him. And according to thine envy, which has used out of thine hatred against, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged everything that America and Esau Edom has done unto, well, everything that the ruling elites, all right, has instituted to systematically tear down the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American Indians, all right. Um, the Lord is going to reverse that back onto them. Okay, all right. It's going to be horrible for you so-called white people in the kingdom, man. Okay, all right. This is verse 12. It says, "And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate; they are given us to consume, and they have consumed us. They have eaten us up physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially." All kind of ways, any other way that you can think about it, man. They separated the families. They give us, bullshit food, all kind of stuff, man. Okay. It says, thus with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. Thus saith Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoices, I will make thee desolate. All right, and thou, as thou didst rejoice as the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so I will do unto thee, and thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and thou shalt, and they shall know that I am Yahweh. So the Lord's going to make America desolate, Edom, everything and everybody that stands up for him in time desolate. Okay, all right. Um, and Esau, Edom. This is part of Esau, Edom's last end. Okay, I can make part two to this and make sure and to give further on his other the other part to his last end, because this is another land. All right, and what's going to happen, land, and things are going to happen to the people as the land are being destroyed as well. But then they're going to go into captivity, and they're going to be gone away forever. All right, that's like two or three more his last ends. Okay, let me get this. I don't want to skip you up today. This is back in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. It says, "She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from Yahweh." So Esau, Edom, there's no mercy for you. No mercy from the Lord. Okay, no mercy from the Lord. All right. So if you're not gonna get no mercy from the Lord, don't think that your last end is going to be salvation. Nobody should be thinking that Esau Edom is going to be resting, chilling in the kingdom with his feet up, with all the wickedness that he produced out here in the world. All right, he's going to be through. All right, he's going to be done. All right, and Lord will you is edified to the next time. Shalom.